I've had clients who are literally on prescription deodorants that didn't even work, that this has solved their problem.
Eileen, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I enjoy this topic.
Yeah, so I wanted to have you come on because you designed an amazing skincare line, and I love skincare products, and I've been using your products for a number of years now. And so I wanted to talk to you about, why you developed this line, what makes it different. And so the number one striking thing about it is you use animal fat. So you use tallow in these skincare products. They're very paleo, very, ancestral, and using the animal tallow. So why do most of your skincare products contain animal fat? And, what type of fat is it? And why is that good for you?
Right. Well, we started with making a deodorant because, we had bought every natural deodorant that was sold, and, you end up stinking. They just don't work. And, we learned about animal fats because they're very nourishing to the skin. I don't know if anybody's accidentally got butter on their skin, but it just absorbs in there. It's conducive to our own skin and body. And, years ago, a couple hundred years ago, they rendered animal fat. And that's what they used for soaps, for lotions, for everything like that. And as it turns out, there's fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, conjugated linoleic acid, there's palmoleic acid, there's all kinds of things that nourish the skin, have anti-cancer properties, antimicrobial properties to it. And the body just sucks it in. And, I had tried, because that's the thing about me is when I figure out something's good for you, then I go and try and I buy and use and all this stuff and then try to break it. It's like, what's wrong with this? Why don't I like this? And the thing that I noticed about pretty much all the competitors' tallow skincare is you literally smell kind of like a hamburger. It's it is, fat, that gets rendered. And so then I started studying about, well, what part of the animal and then how the animal's raised. And because we use cow kidney fat, and, on an animal that gets butchered, you might have 300-400 pounds of fat on the whole animal. And that's the problem. A lot of people will use all that fat. We only use what they call the leaf fat that's on top of the kidney in a fascia sac. So on that cow, guess how many pounds of fat we get? 10 to 15. That is it. So it's a real challenge to get grass-fed fat. There's just not enough of the organic. Some of our fat is grown organically, but not enough to put that it's, organic on the label. But we make sure that it's never had any inoculations, that it's, grass-fed and, all those things. So we're getting, the healthiest fat. And then the process of rendering it, there's a technique, because we spent months and months and months and months of rendering different batches at different temperatures. And your oven can't go low enough, to render it in a manner that you don't smell like a hamburger. So we cracked the code on rendering the fat, to make our skincare. And as I said, we started with deodorant because my daughter, she just not one product ever sold would work for her. So we started mixing, all different kinds of ingredients. And, we found some deodorants. We have 2 formulas that really work. We have 5-star reviews.
I love your deodorant. I love, 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 love the lemon lime one. And you just need the tiniest little bit and it'll last for a couple of days. It's a fantastic product.
Yeah. And, and so we put them in glass jars because that's the other thing, for packaging. People didn't like plastic. Yeah, you got to stick your finger in there, but like literally less than a pea is all I need. Now, my daughter, she needs, was nursing and now she's pregnant again. And so she uses a little bit more. Each person is different. But for me too, it will last like 2 days. I don't even have to apply the deodorant, every day. And so it just goes a long way. And, just because the animal fats have the antimicrobial properties in it as well, and then it's absorbing into the layers of the skin, it just works. It doesn't clog up your glands. Even though you're exercising, you're still going to sweat, but there will be absolutely no smell. I've had clients who are literally on prescription deodorants that didn't even work, that this has solved their problem. And so I was using, of course, I always try to do organic and natural. And I was using the Origin skincare line that, like Macy's sells and a few other places. And, it's just like very expensive. But I started researching all the different ingredients and all those kinds of things. And so we've been, prototyping and making different skincares now for almost 2 years. And one of the things that I also learned is, the fat is a great base, and we have balms, which we, blend with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and add organic essential oils. Almost all of our essential oils now are organic. There's only 1 or 2. I know some of our labels haven't caught up with the fact that more of them are organic, but it's more of a thicker, it solidifies, but it works really well. Like if you've got cracked heels or just like maybe some eczema, or psoriasis that you want to, calm and nourish, and so we have the balms. But one of the things that's happened in our society is there was a whole shift from the animal fats to plant and seed oils. Now we know that the recommendations are changing now, that animal fats, the saturated fats, are okay, because there's this huge problem with cardiovascular disease and all these things that have been caused by these polyunsaturated fatty acids. So, skincare, it's like you put something on your skin and it gets in your bloodstream like in less than a minute. And so, of course, when you're ingesting oils, you don't want to have the really high PUFAs, polyunsaturated fatty acids. So why would I want to put a high PUFA on my skin?
Yeah, and that's because they go rancid really quickly and they're bad for you. They cause oxidative stress and inflammation.
Right. And so we've taken great cares to always calculate and formulate. They say that, anything, below a 10 is good. A lot of ours are 3, 4. I think our highest one is maybe 5 PUFA. So we make sure the blend and the ratio of the healing components support that, the body getting the right kind of oils. But with the balm, we started out with the deodorant, then we went to the balm. And I mean, I even have reviews on there from a vegetarian who had been through prescriptions and everything imaginable and had skin issues, could not get over it. So she was so desperate that she bought our acceptance balm. And lo and behold, her skin disorder disappears. So she leaves this glowing review, even though she's a vegan and all of that, but that how it fixed her. skin. And so the balms were really hard to spread over large areas of your body. And, I really got into the anti-aging thing and researching the ingredients like, the Origins line had. And so we started playing with lower PUFA nourishing oils to blend in, and also just different anti-aging components, things like that. So we developed a line of lotions, and they're whipped, the texture, they just go in. If people look at my older videos, my podcast with you, I look different now. So I've been on this thing. We'll talk about our mineral toners that go on the skin first, and then
you really do. You look 10 years younger than you did before. You look really amazing.
Well, I've been, doing the whole sunrise thing, grounding, my near-infrared yoga sauna, the coffee enema, the ozonated water, but just eating more frequently and making sure I'm doing high dense nutrients, but this skincare line. And, we have a skin brush set. It has a whole bunch of items in it, but this is one of my secrets. It flexes. So if anybody knows like what a fascia blaster is, this doesn't leave the bruises, but you can, go like this. It's like I use my Revive toner. We have it in a 10-ounce bottle, and it works way better than the 2-ounce $56 bottle of the Origins. It's got more anti-aging properties that you put that on. Then I put my anti-aging lotion on there, and in between doing this, rubbing it on my neck. Of course, I do the neck shaper for the spinal fitness exercise. So it's, toning up the neck muscles. So there's a lot of things that have contributed to my, transformation. And so it's just amazing how some of the ingredients that we're using are increasing collagen production, they're repairing, they're anti-inflammatory, they're hydrating. So we've got a regular moisturizer, because there's some of my employees, one of them wanted something that had just a very light scent. We don't, none of ours are overbearing in scents, and they're all like healing essential oils. So there's one that's got the moisturizing, which this one, the moisturizing one, it's got the high altitude organic lavender essential oil in it. So it's very, very mild. And it hydrates, moisturizes, smooths, just reduces blemishes. It's just pretty amazing, a general one. And then I have a grandson who's allergic to nuts, dairy, and eggs. And when he was little, we hadn't figured out what was going on with him. And from head to toe, it looked like a really bad case of psoriasis and eczema, and he'd itch and he'd be bloody, and it would just like nothing worked. So we developed the healing. It's got accelerated repair. It calms and nourishes. So if anybody has like any kind of skin disruption at all, this stuff is absolutely amazing. It's got so many nourishing ingredients. We've added the organic castor oil, organic tamanu oil, wild harvest babassu. We got the organic virgin red palm oil, then the centilla in there, which reduces the inflammation. We've got the asparagus extract and just all kinds of things that if you've got, inflamed skin, it worked for my grandson, and it's just absolutely amazing. Of course, we're an advocate if you have allergies, because that's like an underlying thing. Your skin's going to get a lot better if you treat the underlying cause as well. But oftentimes, it's like, you don't want to use a cortisone cream. You don't want to use all these other things, and you can actually have something that's natural. So that's why we came up with the healing and then Cellulite. So I did the research and we came up with a really nice Cellulite cream that's got a little DMSO in it, along with like the green tea and ginkgo and, all this other stuff. Of course, the base with the tallow, the jojoba oil, just all these different things. And it works so well. After I put my Revive toner on my face and then the anti-aging, I take a Q-tip and I actually put it all around my eyes because it shrinks up the puffiness around your eyes. Besides this toning and tightening, I mean, if people look at my old videos, I was like a tight size 12. Now I'm a size 6. And so with all that weight loss and using this on there, I don't have flabby, baggy skin. So this has been a lifesaver for me. And the other thing I use it for is, we all want more minerals in our body. And how when you put something on your skin, it's in your bloodstream within less than a minute. They did a study. There's over 500 chemicals that in our skincare beauty products that women are putting on their bodies. It is like shockingly toxic. So with all these products, they're all non-toxic, they're all nourishing, they're all anti-aging. And with the Dead Sea minerals, we came up with some body toners. We have a whole body toner. And I usually, after I get out of the shower, I put the body toner on. It almost makes my skin feel like I've got a moisturizer on it, even if I don't do anything else. But I found that this toner kind of thins any lotion that you put on your body. But like, especially the Cellulite one, because of DMSO in it, you put the minerals on your body and this drives it into your tissues. So like, I just use it on my legs, my butt, all over for this. Then I use the anti-aging one on the face and the backs of my hands. I mean, I don't know if I had a video with what my hands looked like before, but I mean, that's where I was showing my age the most, were the backs of my hands. So, all the ingredients we've like spared no expense as far as, what we're using. And then we had people asking me for like a sunscreen. Now I go out and I get morning sun, the Kelvins are lower, it builds up so that you can tolerate more sun later in the day. But there's times when you're just out, because sunscreen is so toxic. Oh my gosh. But sometimes you're out and it's, with burning, that just predisposes you to skin cancer. So it's like, I'm an advocate of don't use sunscreen all the time. If you're out in the morning sun, grounding, doing that ritual, but if you're out later in the day, this is a little goes a really long way, and it gives you like a protective layer. And we got it to 35 and it's totally non-toxic. And we've got, a lot of the different ingredients in there and a lot of natural skincares that have the cocoa butter. You smell like chocolate. But this, we got rid of that scent problem. So it has a nice smell. We're using the Boswellia serrata frankincense and then the organic myrrh. And with the other ingredients that are in it, it just does a fantastic job. So now we have a safe sunscreen that actually works. Again, all of our products actually work.
I know I second that, the toxic sunscreens. There was a huge recall of sunscreens recently. They had cancer causing chemicals in them, and people, they just don't realize what they're putting on their skin. So I've been using your products for several years. Absolutely love the products. Do you have any other customer reviews that you could let us know about?
Sure, we have a lot of reviews here, and they're all 5-star. Every 13 of them are 5-star reviews. Love this balm, and especially the scent. It is very dry here in Colorado. I put it on my hands before I go to bed at night, and my hands are still very soft in the morning. Nothing else has worked this well. The balm isn't greasy and makes the skin soft. My girls use it as a makeup base, and it lasts all day long. Fantastic natural product. Other tallow balms won't work as well compared to this brand. Highly recommended. Actually, when I was on TV and I went to go get my makeup professionally done, I just had washed my face and put on the balm, the acceptance balm. And I went in there and the lady goes, "What's on your skin?" And I told her, she goes, "This is so strange. I spend 90% of my time just moisturizing the skin before I put the makeup on." So here's a professional TV makeup artist. And so it's like she uses our balms now, and it just makes everything better. This moisturizer was amazing and truly healing for me. I recently suffered a chemical burn on my face, neck, and ears that looked like severe windburn. My painful skin wouldn't stop peeling, even cracking at times. It was rough as sandpaper and as hard as cardboard. I tried dozens of things that would not even penetrate on my damaged skin at all. Only this balm penetrated, softened my skin, and healed those painful cracks. I am vegan, but I was desperate to try this. My skin is not quite 100% as it was before, but it is smooth and I look perfectly normal again. That's one of my favorite ones. You know, you get burned. Oh my gosh, to recover. Love it. My skin is super crazy sensitive, and it's calming the wild beast. First of all, most every kind of moisturizer I put on my face instantly makes it break out in a sweat. Tallow balm does not do that. It helps reduce the redness in my face. Nothing else has ever really worked to reduce redness before. I had kind of given up on finding a product for that. I'm so glad I found Tallow Balm. I'm a professional makeup artist, and I have found that Tallow Balm actually works as a beautiful makeup base, and it lasts all day.
Yeah, I love the acceptance balm. I think it just smells so good, like the blend of essential oils that you've come up with. And I love the lemon lime deodorant as well. Like that one's my favorite also. I love lavender, of course, but there's something about the acceptance balm that's just really, really nice. Just the blend of
Oh
oils.
yeah, it actually alters your mood. It makes you happy. I mean, it's like, you know, amazing. And so we use that same scent in the anti-aging, but the anti-aging has almost more of a narcotic smell that it's just like, oh, you know, it just smells so good. And it's because of the different healing oil components in it. And there's just some amazing reviews. And then like on the deodorant, I want to read a few of those. So I have 18 5-star reviews. There's not anything but 5-star reviews. So this is the only natural deodorant I have used that actually works and isn't just trying to cover odor with an obnoxious scent. This is my second order, and it continues to perform exactly as advertised. I no longer worry about chemicals in my deodorant and no longer experience armpit sweating or skin rash. Comes in pleasant, light scents and is easy to apply. I love this product. I only use natural deodorants and I have for many years. I have used salt, silver, clay-based. Some worked okay, but nothing compares to tallow deodorant. I work in a greenhouse, hot temperatures, and a lot of physical work. This tallow works amazingly. I literally have no odor after hours of work. I mean, I could go on for pages, but you get the idea that every single review is a 5-star review and they're just raving.
Yeah, and it's the tallow makes it so unique because I mean, I have very rarely seen any products are using tallow, much less the kidney tallow that you were talking about. You're very, very picky. You only source the highest quality ingredients that would use for yourself. And so I highly recommend your products. I love them. I use them myself. I love all your stuff that you use. So you guys can check out the products, the link below. I love the Dead Sea minerals. I use those. I love putting those minerals on my body because people are mineral deficient. And you're holding up a photo of those or holding up the bottles here. And I also put them in my bath as well because it's great to absorb these minerals through your skin. And so I do like a little, right when I'm done with my shower, I also kind of will douse my body and just kind of rub them all over my skin as well. And it makes your skin super, super soft. They're just amazing products. So like I said, I highly recommend them. And it's just such a breath of fresh air from the toxic products that most people put on their skin. I mean, you really need to evaluate that ingredient label of that product you're putting on your skin because you like the perfume in it or the texture or what have you. I think people really don't realize how many ingredients in their products are endocrine disruptors, disrupting their hormones. I just did a video on that today, actually, about 10 signs of hormone imbalance. And, beauty products are the number one things that disrupt our hormones. So you don't want to use products with perfume in them, with just the chemical perfumes, petroleum-based perfumes, with the phthalates, with the parabens. There's just so many toxic chemicals in conventional beauty products at drugstores and department stores. And like I said, I've got lots of amazing people like Eileen coming in the show with their fantastic product lines. And I have articles on my websites to make better choices for your skincare. A lot of these chemicals age you. They age your skin and they claim to be anti-aging. It's just so crazy.
Yeah. And so as far as the toners go, we have 3. We have the body toner, and that, makes your skin soft. Then we have a fresh toner and a revive toner. There's a huge difference in the price because the Revive has some really special anti-aging. So if you want to reduce wrinkles, like look at my before videos from like a year and a half ago to now, it's because of this toner and the anti-aging lotion. But this, people who are younger but still want to have non-toxic, this still has plenty of nourishing ingredients to help maintain your skin, and it's a more affordable price. But so whole body toners, we're in development of a soap, but I'm not happy with it yet. I love the way that it feels on my skin, but I don't like the way that it lathers or its consistency. It's not creamy enough. So I'm tweaking that recipe. So we'll have a soap in the near future.
Okay, fantastic. Well, Eileen, thanks so much for coming on the show. You're always such a wealth of information. And I've found the show really, really interesting. I like the PUFAs kind of concept and really haven't really talked much about that before on the show. So thanks for coming on. And everyone, thanks so much for listening to the Myers Detox podcast, where, we go over everything related to anti-aging and detoxification and bioenergetics. And I just want to teach you everything that you need to know to live your best life and to look and feel your youngest and optimize your health. So thanks for tuning in. I'm Wendy Myers of MyersDetox.com, and I'll talk to you guys very soon.
The Myers Detox podcast is created and hosted by Wendy Myers. This podcast is for information purposes only. Statements and views expressed on this podcast are not medical advice. This podcast, including Wendy Myers and the producers, disclaim responsibility for any possible adverse effects from the use of information contained herein. Opinions of guests are their own, and this podcast does not endorse or accept responsibility for statements made by guests. This podcast does not make any representations or warranties about guest qualifications or credibility. Individuals on this podcast may have direct or indirect financial interest in products or services referred to herein. If you think you have a medical problem, consult a licensed physician.